Imagine a high-stakes showdown on the high seas where U.S. military might collided with a vessel suspected of carrying the scourge of drug trafficking, leaving survivors grappling with a one-way ticket home. That's the dramatic scene unfolding as the United States prepares to repatriate 2 alleged drug traffickers back to Colombia and Ecuador, following a military strike on their boat in the Caribbean last Thursday, as announced by President Donald Trump. But here's where it gets controversial. This action isn't just about law enforcement. It's sparking heated debates over whether such forceful measures cross into the murky waters of international warfare. For those new to this, repatriation simply means sending individuals back to their home countries, often as part of legal proceedings or diplomatic agreements. In this case, it's a direct response to the incident detailed in a Washington Post report, where U.S. forces targeted the boat, raising immediate concerns about the legality of the strikes and the treatment of those involved. And this is the part most people miss. The Trump administration is defending these killings by arguing that the U.S. is engaged in an armed conflict with Latin American drug cartels. To break this down for beginners, armed conflict is a term from international law typically reserved for situations like declared wars between nations, involving organized armed groups and significant violence. It's not your everyday police chase. It's more akin to how the U.S. has approached conflicts in places like Afghanistan or Iraq. Here, the administration links these cartels to Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro's alleged efforts to flood the U.S. with drugs and criminals, as explored in another Washington Post piece. Think of it like the cartels acting as an extension of a hostile foreign power, justifying a wartime response. Yet, is this claim truly valid? Critics argue it stretches the definition too far. Since drug cartels aren't recognized as state actors under international law, like comparing a street gang to a full-blown army, some see this as a bold, necessary crackdown on the devastating impact of drug trafficking on American communities, where opioids and other substances have ravaged families and overwhelmed healthcare systems. Others might view it as an overreach, potentially violating sovereignty and human rights by treating civilian vessels as battlegrounds. For instance, similar U.S. operations against Mexican cartels, like the 2019 takedown of El Chapo, have faced backlash for blurring lines between policing and warfare, raising questions about civilian casualties and due process. What do you think? Is this a justifiable escalation in the fight against drug cartels? Or does it risk turning the Americas into a perpetual war zone? Could labeling these groups as combatants lead to more aggressive foreign policy, or is it a clever legal workaround? Share your perspectives in the comments below. Let's discuss.